thousands of years, these waters have been home to the wolves of the sea, the orca, the killer whale. They're the biggest of the world's dolphins, and they're found in every ocean, from the tropics to the poles. And of course right here, along the fjords, inlands, and islands of Washington, British Columbia, and Alaska. Here on shore, humans rule. But out there, the orcas are the royal families. They're the kings, the queens, the very top of the food chain. And probably the most intelligent creature in the sea. The waters of Puget Sound can at one moment stand quiet and clear, then at once explode in a powerful and stunning display. This is where orcas reach for the sky. It's called a breach, where these whales lift their entire bodies out of the water, coming down in a thunderous crash. They spy hop like this, probably to get a look at the surface. They have very good eyesight. And they tail lob to get each other's attention, or maybe just to make a point, like we might pound our fist on a table. It's hard to say why they do these things, but we do know they like to have fun. They really enjoy each other's company, and they play a lot. But for the most part, they're pretty busy making a living. There's a lot of work to do out here. In fact, if you're lucky enough to see orcas in the wild, chances are they're on the move. These animals can travel 100 miles a day looking for food, and because of humans, it's getting tougher and tougher to find that food. Still, the killer whales carry on as they have for thousands of years, hunting, playing, resting, calling out to each other over miles of ocean water. Researchers believe that orcas actually start learning these calls while still in the womb. It's absolutely central to the way of life. And each orca community has its own language, each family their own dialect. Like humans, orcas have different languages and accents depending on where they live. People in France speak French. In Spain, they speak Spanish. And of course, depending on where you live, the actual words you say may sound a lot different than someone in another part of the country. Same with these killer whales. The families of whales out here share a common language, totally different than whales who live in Iceland or Argentina. Even our orcas right here in Puget Sound speak a different language than the whales up in Canada, just like Americans sound a little different than Canadians. And they have another incredible capacity, echolocation. It's like sonar. The orcas are able to send out a signal from the top of their heads, a series of pings and pops, and then they wait to receive the echo when it bounces back. And from that echo, their minds can actually create a picture of what's ahead of them, sometimes miles away. It's like what a bat uses to see at night. Well, orcas do the same thing here in the Sound, and it helps them find food, find each other, and to navigate these waters where visibility is pretty limited. All dolphins do it, but when you're pinged by one of these guys, you feel it to the bone. But the calls of these creatures may be the most intriguing thing about them. Orca communication continues to fascinate scientists. And today, with the research being done right here in the Pacific Northwest by places like the Whale Museum and the Center for Whale Research, we're beginning to unlock the mysteries of orca language. We may be cracking the code. Sounds like Dr. Dolittle, but it's true. One day we may be able to listen to these orcas and actually understand what they're saying. There's no doubt that the orcas we see out here in Puget Sound are the most studied, best-known marine mammal population in the world. So who knows? And if we do crack the code, just imagine the tales these whales might tell. Thousands of years ago, humans first claimed this wilderness. but then looked out and realized that orcas got here first. We first thought of them as divine spirits, as sacred, not as animals, but as people, killer whale people, who lived in magnificent villages under the sea, who brought us food from the deep and delivered us from danger. But then Europeans moved in, and we somehow grew to fear them, hurt them, capture them. It's taken a long time, but we seem to have come full circle now. Orcas are once again our spirit animals and our friends. And slowly but surely, we're starting to appreciate them in much the same way the First Nations do. Not as man-eating monsters of the deep, not as competition for food, for salmon, but as equals. Right here in Seattle, we're in the midst of something very special, an extraordinary community of individuals, the Southern Resident Community, J, K, and L Pod. This is the only major city in the lower 48 where humans actually live among killer whales. They are truly the urban orcas, with J-Pod visiting the Seattle area most often, and each visit captivates us and draws us even closer, sometimes too close. But we're now learning how to appreciate orcas without disturbing them, and even from shore, we're left with an impression that can last forever. We see the top predator in the ocean, each whale as powerful as they are intelligent. Yet despite their size and strength, despite their never-ending search for food, they still manage to take care of each other and stay together a lifetime. The more we discover about the orcas of Puget Sound, the more we realize how much we have in common with them. Our intelligence, our lifespans, our ability to adapt to different environments, and our sense of family. And maybe at times the orcas do a little better at taking care of each other. And perhaps that's what truly draws us in the end. Maybe we look at these remarkable families of orcas, these communities, these villages of killer whale people, and wish that we were a little more like them.